House Democrats have just introduced an article of impeachment against President Donald Trump, which of course would make it the second time that the president has been impeached. Wow. Okay, so now this comes in the wake of last week's deadly riot at the U.S. Capitol, where 6 people lost their lives. So 6 people died. Now, I regret to inform you that we were actually wrong about some of the details that come out. Last week, it turns out that somebody did not taser themselves in the balls so much that they died. Nonetheless, 6 people did die, including a woman that was shot by Capitol Police. And I believe there was a person that was crushing a door. Someone that was trampled, holding ironically, a "Don't Tread on Me" flag. And so there was a real loss of life here. Okay. And so a lot of them were quote unquote patriots that were egged into it by Donald Trump. And so that seems to be at the heart of this new impeachment charge, is whether or not the president had incited this riot to happen. This little insurrection, which caused a lot of property damage at the Capitol, as well as said loss of life. So now I'm just going to read here from an article. House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer told reporters that he expects a vote on the article could come as early as Wednesday of this week, with the goal of beginning Senate discussions as soon as possible. So the time framing is really important here if you want to get him out of office soon, because he's only got like 9 days left. And so already you've got, you have 9 days, and then, oh, look, it's Monday, then you got Tuesday, Wednesday, you have like 6 days left. And then, so basically people are asking, what's the point? I will get to that in a minute, but first, the 4-page resolution notes Donald Trump's direct responsibility for indicting the seditious mob that proceeded to violently overwhelm the Capitol and interfere with the joint session's solemn constitutional duty to certify the results of the 2020 presidential election. So I'm reading from that, okay? So now, that was, look, to slow things down, that was the goal. To stop the count for Donald Trump. Remember, stop the counts. We got to stop the counts so I can win. Well, now they want to stop the certification to make sure that I don't know that somehow Donald Trump could come away with this a winner, even though he's not a winner. But anyway, now there were people that were, photographed with zip ties that are part of the rioters. And so these are the people that, look, there's only one reason you would bring zip ties, like zip tie handcuffs, okay, with you. That's if you plan to take hostages. Now, lucky enough for, anybody that's inside the Capitol building that was not a rioter or a police officer, they managed to get out. They managed to evacuate so they didn't have to deal with this, so that they didn't become a hostage. And so, because who knows what would have happened? They've been taken hostages. Would they have been executed on TV? What was the overall goal? And thankfully, we didn't get to find out because they were not successful at this. Now, the reason that I jumped to that is not because I'm like trying to fearmonger or be like extreme, right? Or jump to the most extreme circumstance. It's basically what they attempted to do to my governor in Michigan. This was, that was a dry run. They tried to take over the Capitol building to try to take her hostage and execute her on TV. Now, you had people saying, hang Mike Pence. You had people going after Nancy Pelosi. You had people going after AOC as well. The more well-known Democrats, as well as, again, as I mentioned, Mike Pence. So this was no joke. This was a big thing that had happened. So again, the whole point, like I said, take hostages perhaps was the goal, and maybe as a result, scare Republicans, the rest of the Republicans, the majority of Republicans, into stopping the certification, which we already had some Republicans that had, that had done so. Even with this. And of course, the whole thing was driven by their craven desire to stay in power, because that's all Republican politicians care about, is sending the message to, hey, don't worry, base, crazy people, we're still with you, even though we don't agree with you in private. We're gonna agree with you publicly because we're scared of you. We're real scared of you. And they really, really are. All right, so again, this was to pressure Republicans to not certify the results so that Donald Trump could stay in office for another 4 years or perpetuity, whatever. A coup. It's a coup with that attempt. All right, so now on that, it looks like Trump's January 2nd phone call to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger also got a mention in these impeachment articles, as did Donald Trump's repeated false claims that he rightfully won the 2020 presidential election. Because again, the way that he was able to motivate the mob was by saying the election, they stole the election from us, they stole it, and what we're going to do is we're going to go and storm, we're going to take it back. We're going to take it back from them, okay? We're going to march up to the Capitol. And then, of course, he didn't march with them, obviously. He went and fucked off to a bunker somewhere and just hid, and didn't do anything. But the mob did. Absolutely. And so the whole point, again, was to steal the election. So now in this, here's what the impeachment resolution reads. In all this, President Trump gravely endangered the security of the United States and the institution of government. He threatened the integrity of the democratic system, interfered with the peaceful transition of power, and imperiled the co-equal branch of government. He therefore thereby betrayed his trust as president to the manifest injury of the people of the United States. Donald John Trump, by such conduct, has demonstrated that he will remain a threat to national security, democracy, and the Constitution if allowed to remain in office. Now, some of you, again, might be thinking, okay, look, I know, but he's going to be gone in like 9 days. So, why are you trying to impeach him again? What's the point, right? Why are you trying to get him to resign? He's going to be done real soon. Well, turns out there's actually a pretty interesting, explanation for that, of why actually impeachment's not a bad idea. For one, if you're convicted by the Senate, he can be barred from holding elected office again. So, no Trump 2024. Because who knows what kind of incitement that he would do in the next run. All right? And so he could also, more importantly, and this is the part that I like, my favorite part, okay? If impeached and convicted by the Senate, yes, he would, of course, lose his ability to run in 2024, and not be able to serve out his final days in office, but also would include his $200,000 a year pension, lose his health insurance, a yearly travel budget, and full security detail. That's all paid for by us. Yeah. How about no? How about fuck you? I'm not paying for any of your shit, you fucking loser. Get out. Get out of our house. Okay? Get out of our White House. I'm not giving you a goddamn dime. I really don't. I hope he has nothing for you, sir. You lose. Go home. And you can't actually go home again either if you're Donald Trump, because New York doesn't want your ass. So, no. Get him impeached. That is worth impeachment right now. Okay, he deserves nothing for blowing up the nation. Okay, he deserves nothing for his disastrous 4 years in office. Look, 375,000 people have died from COVID-19, something that he could have done. He could have done something about this, okay? He could have actually, he could have actually been a leader on this issue, okay? He could have actually done something and not downplayed the virus. He could have been pushing legislation for Congress to take up earlier. Okay, he just came in at the fourth quarter. Okay, there's like 2 minutes left. Okay, and he's like, oh, turns out I want $2,000 stimulus checks when he had absolutely no involvement in the previous deals when it comes to coronavirus stimulus. Okay? So no. Get out. Get out. You're done. You're an utter disaster. There are millions of people that are in poverty as a result of the president. Millions of people. Okay? You don't deserve it all. Now, the bad thing about this is that, you would have to have 2/3 of all Republicans, 2/3 of the House and Senate, which includes a lot of Republicans, in order to vote for it. I don't think it's likely to happen. But I think it's a little bit more likely than it was before for the first impeachment. Okay? So, again, I don't know. That said, there is something interesting that happened prior to us going live, and I want to show it to you. Now, this is floating around social media here. Take a look. So that's a government website right there, and it shows President Trump, his term ending today. Now what happened? What is going on here? So unfortunately, I don't think that we should, take this as gospel. I think this is the definite, mountain of salt you should take with this, okay? But, is it a glitch? Is it hackers? Did somebody change this? The website is now down. The page doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know what is going on here. I am not sure. I am not sure. Hell of a glitch. Hell of a glitch. I guess we're going to have to see what happens with that. But as far as we know, impeachment, the article's already introduced, and we are going forward with this to remove Trump one way or the other. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.